In 2025, I've managed to book myself a trip to Wales with my brother to attend Awdry Extravaganza, which is announced to be the last extravaganza for a while, from July 18th through the 20th. I arrived at the Talyllyn Railway on July 18th, and it was my first time visiting this marvelous railway, just to attend Awdry Extravaganza, to experience this marvelous event to celebrate Thomas's 80th anniversary. When I first entered in Wharf Station, I came across Wilbert Awdry's daughter, Veronica Chambers, and managed to give her a gift for her and for Christopher Awdry in that envelope.
So we got a gift to you. There's more. There's even a special letter.
After meeting Veronica and taking pictures with her, I then met Thomas Ferris next and also managed to give him some little gifts as well.
I appreciate you being a picture.
Thank you.
It's always my pleasure.
I had some gifts for you.
Really? Gifts plural?
I still need to sign up for that.
That's really cool bag. It's got me with the white running board on it.
Yep. This was from Dale Thomas where I got here. First gift is this one.
I think the other white running board looks better.
Yeah, I agree. It was Daniel Brennan Cardi, who I tribute to. No, but he'll be at the premiere.
What is that?
And I made this.
After meeting Thomas Ferris, we all gathered around to hear Veronica Chambers' speech.
Veronica Chambers and also of the Reverend Wilbert. It's early in the morning as well, and it's not raining. Dear friends, it's a real pleasure to see so many of you here. Some faces, in fact many faces, are familiar. Some are not, but if it's your first time here, welcome as well. Welcome to everybody, a really warm welcome. When my father first told stories of Talyllyn, he could never have imagined the impact. I certainly don't think he could have foreseen people coming from around the world to celebrate the World Beauty Angel.
I haven't missed anything, haven't I?
But I hope he would have been proud to see, especially because it's happening here on the Talyllyn Railway. So Handel, Stepney and Fred, as well as Steve and Mike, all looking forward to seeing you. So Handel Brown, the owner, will bring you tea passes for some of these angels to come and take part in the festivities. Perhaps, it will remind people that we are still here. Everyone talks about 80 years since the first book, but it's 70 years since we were first written about, and that's what's important today, I think. We hope you'll enjoy this celebration. There's plenty of fun to have. Some people don't see the importance of the railway, but I like to think that we all know better. Have a wonderful time. Could we please clear the crossing so Sir Handel may depart?
After her marvelous speech, I then met Smurfy Dan, the creator of Steaming to Legacy, and who I've also joined his 3 Railway Engines read-along live stream, which I then gave him gifts as well.
Hello, Dylan.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. How are you doing with King here? I train and plane from America.
Okay.
How is it journey from America?
It was pretty well. Yeah.
Are you handing me a badge?
Yes.
Oh wow, lovely.
I made it on Redbubble.
Oh my goodness.
And then I have 2 more gifts.
This is my friend from Southern France. Magic and love because this is finality.
How far am I?
Come far.
Oh, Chicago.
Oh, Chicago, Illinois, USA.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh yeah, there's red and the Callister House is filmed. Come on.
That's correct, yeah.
This was from
Oh,
Day Out
boat?
with Thomas.
Oh, lovely. Bow tie.
Yeah. And I have.
Unique. Yeah.
I already gave.
Matt Mitchell, I saw what you did.
Yeah.
That was
I made 2 because I thought you would be at the premiere, but
yes.
didn't see ya.
Which I will be in August. Yes.
And much,
Derby.
yes. And much to my dismay, I couldn't go to that.
At least you got to be in New York.
Cool.
New York was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York was nice. I was then given the honor by Smurfy Dan to be interviewed and showing him my 15-year-old baked clay Thomas model.
This is my baked clay model of Thomas that I've made in 2010, which Thomas would have been 65 years old in that year. And signed by Britt Chow from The Unlikely Family Premiere, Britt Alcroft, and Brendan Carvey.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. Yeah. May the Lord rest your soul indeed. It's not as perfect, but it shows how much passion I had. And yes. Yep. This is so surreal. Here's the Handel. Hope he behaves himself this year. Yes. Like, so like you see, there's like a little firebox where the firemen and drivers shovel coal. And that handle, it looks like a, yeah, that's the handle to open the firebox. And then that handle, big handle at the top, that's to move their handle. And then those 2 glass you see here, that no, inside the cap, that's where you can see the water. So that the driver knows like how much water it has left. About a few minutes later, I then met TARDIS Rescue, who I gave him my own little gift to him. Hello. Good to see you. I made this for you.
For me, thank you so much.
Yep.
It's amazing.
I gave it to each fan so far.
It's fantastic. Thank you so much. It's amazing.
You're welcome.
It is. Are you filming this?
I'm sorry?
Are you filming or is?
Yes.
It's got my name on it. That's brilliant.
I put names on each ones. Because he's the first character
Yeah.
introduced.
Yeah. So did you design the bag?
Yes, I designed the whole thing.
Fantastic.
You can just pass it as like official merchandise, couldn't you? Like,
Yes, please do. It'd be an honor.
nice.
I then came across Super Thomas Eli 99, who I've just met last year at Train Fest and at Day Out with Thomas this year.
This is the closest he's ever going to get to a break. You think he might be big? Pretty much, yeah. He did this year.
I hope you behave this year. And don't you and Sir Handel try to do something that ruins the day. Got it? Thank you.
After talking to George, I then met Luke Ryan and handed him some little gifts.
Starting first one. This was from Day Out with Thomas where I volunteered. You can wear it. You can wear it and be on like formal premiere. It's happening in August 2nd preview show. And then, I made this.
That's lovely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You can wear that today.
I will. I might pop it on when I'm going up to Aberdeen one day. So I might see you up there for the exhibition.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
I've later met Michael White, also known as White House Films, who wrote episodes for Thomas and Friends, including the 75th anniversary special, Thomas and the Royal Engine, and he is currently working on his project, Branch Line Engines.
This one is from Day Out with Thomas where I volunteered at the Awdry Railway Museum. Or one of the two. So you can wear that at the end of the
Well, next time I might not be able to go to it because I won't be free in person.
no worries. You can wear it at any time. This, I made this.
Enjoy yourself. I'm sure there's going to be many more stuff happening very soon.
A little later, Mike the Arlesdale engine arrived at Wharf Station, and then after seeing Mike, I then went to see Duke, and I've gotten the opportunity to ride on Duke, the lost engine.
Is she one of the ones in the original, on the ones in the shed with Edward? Or...
Great.
After writing on Duke, I then met Tom Denham, who is a radio producer who hosts and produces a fan series podcast called Right on Track, and is also the host and co-producer of the official Thomas & Friends 80th Anniversary podcast, which I want to say for recommendation, I very highly recommend you go check out this 80th Anniversary podcast and give all the episodes a listen if you haven't already. It is a really good podcast, and it deserves to be shown to everyone else that have not seen this podcast yet. Afterwards, I pay a visit to a place that I've always wanted to go see, and that is the Awdry Study. I've met Tom Marshall, who is a really talented voice actor, who's done voice acting in a lot of Thomas fan contents. Two years ago at the Unlikely Fandom premiere in New York, I gave Nikki Dovadias my artwork of the Magic Railroad parody, which Nikki is the director of course, which by the way, the Magic Railroad parody just turned 5 years old this year. Well, I've managed to find Neil Layton, who was the voice of Thomas in the Magic Railroad parody, and gave him a copy of my artwork of the Magic Railroad parody.
I gave one to,
Close my eyes? Close my eyes.
yes. I gave one to
They haven't stolen anything in the shop yet, have they?
Nope. I gave one to Mr. Dr. Fan at the Unlikely Fandom premiere.
Yeah. Oh, wow!
I gave one, and I'm giving you one.
That's awesome.
And show it to the camera.
Look at that.
Show it to the camera.
That's brilliant.
You did it.
Oh, is that with parody as well? Oh. There you got your contact on the back. That's cool. Hello, thank you very much.
And now comes a long, marvelous journey from Wharf to Nant Gwernol while riding on Sir Handel's picnic train that my brother and I booked for. So sit back and enjoy this magical experience and see all the beautiful views of Wales. Peter Sand. I'm running this line. I'm Peter Sand. I'm running this line. Once we arrived at Nant Gweno, we then watched Sir Handel in action as he goes around at the back of the picnic train.
George said you like the man as well. Well, I guess you are blind, George.
That's the next crew problem, right?
We've all got back on the picnic train, leaving Nant Gweno to Abergenowen Station, where Wilbert's Farquhar branch layout is at. When we arrive, we see Cam Jones's amazing replicas of the Gauge 1 Thomas models, and it's really cool to see Scarloey in Talyllyn's paint coat.
I can get an angle from this side as well.
Either are, yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, cheers. Cheers, like. I do, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Right.
No bother at all.
There you go, now I don't feel bad.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
There we go.
So, he's been on this now, so I'm just like,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you can find out because it's complex blade.
Yeah.
Nice. How you find the day?
Really good, like, sure, it wasn't even like a talking about it, he made Veronica Chambers.
She's still there.
Where's the person, the exhibit back to Orphan, so I was like, I missed the last two, and I was like, I might as well do this 3 days.
I saw a glimpse of it this morning. Still so everybody has what they're
Yeah, but I knew Neil's stuff would be there. I was like, there's no way it won't be like.
Nothing else the base for us.
And to be fair, if you were in that position as well, we would.
The original gauge was
I'm hoping this downhill will cooperate a bit more.
To be honest, like, I was more like see the horse in the house. I asked Owen, I was like, given that was there at the Railway Series weekend, will it be there again this weekend?
Yeah.
it's like one song. Hang was made and was like reused from like 4 season 1. Like Hank actually did one more. It blew my mind.
Yeah, that's good. I can still hear it. Yeah. Okay, so when it disappears on that bit.
No.
Hey.
Hello, I'm there too.
We did look at the stories right now, like we don't know.
Hiding again.
I'm gonna be a lot of respect to new people. Like, hope to catch you later.
See you around.
Thank you so much again.
You're very welcome.
After checking out Wilbert's Farquhar branch layout, we went back to Wharf and watched George the Steamroller in action. And here's Duncan, of course, that's currently in overhaul, being himself as usual. He would not stop grumbling about it. I soon came across Enterprising Engine 93 again, who I first met him 2 years ago at the Unlikely Fandom premiere, which was really awesome to see him again. I then met Terrier 55 Stepney and gave him my little gift.
Hey Max.
You're right.
I have something for you.
All right.
This. I made this.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's stunning. I saw Dan wearing one of these, actually. That's really cool.
I gave it to each one.
Yeah, oh, that's really kind. Thank you. That's
You're
great.
welcome.
I like that.
My
Very
pleasure.
appropriate for this year.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you.
A little later, my brother and I hopped aboard on the Awdry train ride. Once we got off, we hung around this nice little location and checked out the station. A few minutes later, while we are waiting, Peter Sam's BBC train arrives.
I'm Peter Sam and I'm running this line. I'm Peter Sam and I'm running this line. Hello, Peter Sam. Peter Sam with the BBC train.
See how the faces from Holloway and Manette, but now the council from the model round. That's really cool. Oh, I get on the train actually, 'cause I'm on this train. Do you right? Yeah.
is checking his teeth.
I think I can see Ernie on the train. I think I saw Ernie on the train. From Underground Ernie.
Got to meet Sir Robert, Mr. Conductor, and the Constable at the Awdry Extravaganza, then see Swine9, and then came across Rusty the Little Diesel, who was resting on a siding. I've met Figaro 257, who I've also met at the Unlikely Fandom premiere, who also brought Frank the Arlesdale Diesel from Jack's Trains to Awdry Extravaganza. I was then caught by the Constable, who wanted to ask me questions about Sailor John if I happened to see this villain at Awdry Extravaganza.
It's very much of a lawbreaker, yes.
Yes, Sailor John is a lawbreaker.
Hey, smells.
And the rules and regulations, yes,
You're gonna get arrested if you're not careful.
Boy, Peter Sam.
Seems like Sir Handel isn't the only engine who got his bandage from his own incident the last time he was at the Talyllyn Railway. I've met more people at Awdry Extravaganza, like Tim Dunn, who is a pleasant man, then the Thin Clergyman, Tom Denham again, and Ian McHugh, who is the producer of the CGI series of Thomas and Friends, and was responsible for restoring and releasing the 1983 pilot Down the Mine, as a tribute for Britt Allcroft and for Thomas's 80th anniversary. And I then gave Tom and Ian 2 Illinois Railway Day Out with Thomas pamphlets with my signature on them. At the little restaurant at the Wharf Station, I've met Smurfy Dan again and Elliot Killickwood, who both are crew members of Insert Title Here Productions and the ones that released Tugs, a big retrospective, and Jamie Parker, who is sitting next to me, which both he and I are featured in the documentary. Speaking of Tugs, here is a model of 10 cents from Tugs made by a fan.
It's fine. It's because it's got a really tight squeeze on it.
Good.
Took another visit to check out the Farquhar branch layout and Wilbert's models. I discovered the point switcher that switches the points on the track, which is really fun and makes me appreciate how it's there so visitors can control them and learn how Talyllyn changes the points. I've then met Cam Jones, who owns the Gauge 1 replicas. Later, we waited for Sir Handel to pass by, who was having a race with Car.
Goes to Handel!
Go, Sir Handel! Back at Wharf, I met my two friends, Ross and Scott, who they, like me and Jamie, are also in Tugs, a big retrospective. Then I met... For Underground Ernie fans that remembers Jubilee, who's into technology and is probably a graphic designer like myself, I decided to do the same like Jubilee for fun.
Yep. Oh my god, it's Jubilee and the Magic Railroad!
Oh, well.
I love that!
That was nice!
Joella Productions! Oh my god, Sony! Sony, amazing, amazing. Oh, that's
Yeah. Underground Ernie will be 20 years old, so maybe make a feature film for next year.
Can I hold on to this?
Yes, it's for you to keep.
Oh, thank you. Excellent, that's great. I'll just tell everyone that this is just a movie that's coming out.
Yes, absolutely.
I recommend you go check out Thomas Ferris's Underground Ernie videos for those who have not seen the show and would like to know the history of this show from 2006. After that, I watched Luke Ryan, who is going to be driving Duke the Lost Engine in action.
Thank you.
There's Luke
Really
Ryan.
sorry everyone, but we can't take any more customers on board Duke. He's really close to running out of water. No more trips, really sorry, but he will be back tomorrow morning.
Might as well, because I'm going to take the evening at
Luke Ryan is driving Duke.
but
There's little Ryan with my badge I gave him.
Then comes a big part that many Thomas fans like myself will remember this from Bulldog, and watching this in real life captures that magical moment.
Bulldog, anybody? Water, quickly. Okay, so it's a person coming in. What's the bucket? You're great to see a bulldog from Houston, long pigeon. You get into the train for it while I do this, yeah.
Soon, everyone was passing jugs, buckets, kettles, and saucepans filled with water, until Duke's thirst was quenched. All the while, Duke was building more strength.
I then had a chance to meet Christopher Awdry's son, Richard Awdry, and then afterwards display my Thomas and Duke on Duke himself for pictures. Later, close to evening, we've all then head on over to the Magic Lantern Cinema, where Car the Car was at, who had a race earlier with Sir Handel. We then went inside the theater and watched Sir Handel.
I'm tired, he yawned. Let Peter Sam go. He'd love it. No, said the fireman. Owner's orders. You're first. Oh, well, said Sir Handel sulkily. I suppose I must.
After watching Sir Handel, we hung out at the pub outside of the theater room and had a fun blast.
rocking and rolling, won't you come for the ride of your life? Hurry,
'cause Thomas made him wait. We'll have to go much faster. We really can't be late. Soon the coach is rocking, it's way from side to side. The bath water is splashing and it's splashing inside. Rocking, rocking on a railway, rolling, rolling on a railway, moving, moving down the line, swinging, sway from side to side. They'll be rocking and rolling in a railway for the run of your life. Rocking, rocking on a railway, rolling, rolling on a railway, moving, moving down the line, swinging, sway from side to side. They'll be rocking and rolling, won't you come for the ride of your life? You'll be rocking and rolling, won't you come for the ride of your life? You'll be rolling, won't you come for the ride of your life? Come for the ride! Bravo! Well done. Afterwards, we went back into the theater room and watched The Adventure Begins for the film's 10th anniversary.
The French line to call his very own. He's really useful and to we adore. He's the one.
Ian McHugh was then brought onto the stage and explained about the making of The Adventure Begins. Once he had finished, I got to shake his hand as he was walking down the stage and thanked him warmly for all the things he has done while working with Thomas and Friends over the years during the CGI era of the show, including The Adventure Begins and the 1983 pilot. Here's Rusty. Just getting ready to set off eventually. I later had the chance to take one last ride on Duke. Take a ride on Duke, the Lost Engine. Hello there.
Hello, you alright?
I'm well, thank you. Mind if I blow Duke's whistle?
Yeah, just pick one.
Thank you. Are they both different?
Yeah.
Can I blow both?
Yeah. That one's harder to pull.
I'll try my best. Hello? James is recording me, and I'm recording while I'm on Duke. Now, in reverse. Thank you so ever much.
Alright, no bother. Thank you.
You too. Bye, everyone. Now we've come to the funnest part of Awdry Extravaganza, the talking train ride, held by Sir Handel and was hosted by Tim Dunn and interspersed with narration by Wilbert Awdry himself.
So yeah, hope you enjoy the trip. It's a privilege to be narrating your trip today. If it's too loud or too quiet, I'm going to wave out the window occasionally from the guard van. I'm at the very back, one of the last compartment, giving the narration live. In the compartment with me, checking up and getting the facts correct, is Veronica Chambers. Ooh. So Veronica is on the train today, and she's sitting next door to me, and she's going to be marking up things that are incorrect or correct. So I'm being marked and judged as we go, just so you know. But we'll stop off probably briefly to stay on the train at Dolgoch. I'll be there just checking that everything's okay and volume's okay, and we'll stop again at Buggleskelly briefly, but stay on the train, and we'll get off at Nant Gwernol for a little walk around at the very, very top, and we'll come back obviously to Buggleskelly, stop, look around the exhibition for about sort of 40 minutes or so, and a quick loo break and a coffee break, and then we'll get on the train and come back down here again. But
sounds good.
I'm afraid you got stuck with my voice for quite some time, so if you get too bored
Ladies
of
and
it, just take care of
gentlemen,
the
we're
window.
just preparing for departure.
That's Owen.
Hello, Owen!
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the talking train, the final talking train. Yes, he is also the talking train. Welcome to the final talking train of the Awdry Extravaganza 5. Dear friends.
Bye bye, everybody!
Bye! And please wave as you depart. I can't be too strict with regards to the tunnel. Oh, I've been given a torch. Dear friends, welcome to you all to Talyllyn, where we're going to talk about the link between that and the scullery, because the relationship between these two railways is very special indeed. Now, let's kind of check. I'm going to look at the window on the left-hand side and check. Can you please tell me if it needs to be volume raised up by telling me up or down beside the window? Up or down, please? have a thumbs out the window, please, for it's all good. I should take a picture of that. Right, welcome to you all. We are so lucky to have aboard two VIPs today. Oh, they're looking at me, rolling their eyes. Oh no, we're not VIPs. They are. We have Veronica Chambers and Richard Chambers aboard. Right, we are also very lucky to have here access to the narrations, of course, of the railway series made by Reverend Wilbert Awdry himself, so we can hear all the familiar stories from the man himself in the way he intended. And of course, we can hear from Sir Hayden and Sir Handel.
They're both here!
That's right. So we can hear familiar stories. Because those stories, as you can tell, they're not stories at all. They're reality. They are history. Let's start at the very beginning. Our story begins with a small boy called Christopher.
Dear Christopher, where is your brain coming today? Why for this station run through the world? Please story tell you how to. I hope you're right, buddy. Because you hope to be modern day.
Now, Thomas himself, of course, we will have seen Thomas on My Bow Tie, but Thomas himself only plays a small part in our story today. It was with him and it was Gordon and Henry adventure truly began, written in the past, the Second World War, and Thomas and the increasing number of Thomas and his increasing number of friends became household names in homes throughout the UK and indeed the world. Thomas, of course, was a household name, but Talyllyn was not a household name at the time. It had been built up as a part of the boom in slate in the 19th century, which had transformed Wales into an internationally recognised provider of high-quality slates. But by the 1940s, however, the slate had almost been entirely mined out, and the line was on the tipping point of preservation. Back then, there were only 2 engines, and only one of them actually worked. There were 4 carriages, 1 brake van, and frankly, there's one of the engines right now. Hello! And a motley selection of wagons in various states of disrepair. The track was held together by thoughts and prayers. Some say the line is not similar like that now. We boarded, of course, at Talyllyn Wharf, but when it was originally built, you wouldn't have ever seen passengers down there at the station we got on at. That was built entirely for the transshipment of slates from narrow gauge wagons to standard gauge wagons, and then taken on to the rest of the country and to ships on around the rest of the world, because Welsh slate was internationally renowned for its quality in the early 19th century, until its cheaper options from other countries became far more commonplace. Now, I told Sir Handel this. He was at pains to point out that his railway in Sodor has a similar arrangement, of course, for transshipping materials on Sodor. There, they still do bring slate down from the hills. A vein of slate from the Rinius quarries have proved most popular, even to this day. Now, we're sitting here at Pendray. We're about to leave Pendray. The engineering hub of the railway. That was a brief stop, wasn't it? Engines have begun their working days here since the 1860s. And imagine that, we built locomotives in that workshop in the 1800s, 1900s, and 2000s. Yeah, including you. We overhauled you, Sir Handel. Now, the engine shed here to your right is the original and was designed for 2 engines only though. Talyllyn and Dolgoch ran the railway between them for over 80 years. When the engines first came to Talyllyn and then to Skarloey, the men didn't know how to make them work properly though. But Skarloey used that to his advantage, so he didn't have to pull any trucks.
Then it got arrived. Then you showed them my part strong work. Like to see you, darling, he said. Can I talk to you, sir? No, certainly not. But I hope so. You didn't understand it, did you? Certainly you did. Why, I wouldn't What do I think? At last, the manager said, "Oh, very well, be a crook. But now time to look at your sort of thing. How many you want? You're better in. 2. Big tarpaulin. Now it's been right up. Well, that is cool. I think it's right.
Someone used to along Starlowry, his name was Mr. Bobby. On the telephone, it also found it difficult to make these newfangled locomotives features all correctly. Although the telephone never gave his owner a look when it tried to sleep. Messrs. Fletcher, sorry, I was dark again then. Messrs. Fletcher and Jennings sent Mr. Bousted, and then he only came for a week. He stayed for 8 years before moving to Australia. And the same is true of many of our volunteers today. Now, as you saw, back at Pendra, originally a cottage stood at the back of the ships, but on the platform side of the train is the north ship. They used to be a barn there, on the carriage side. Because before the ships were extended, Talyllyn, worn out after many years' service, was put in that barn to make way for new engines, and that's what inspired Scullery's lean-to shed with 4 little engines. A little engine has to make way for Sir Handel and to Sam, and the Reverend Awdry's writing captures some of what it must have been like for the Talyllyn, who put aside and watched the other engines get to work. crossing. And the line travels along a road. It's here that Sir Wilbert faced down George the steamroller. Originally, however, the line went underneath the bridge and then climbed, allowing the coaches to cause trouble for poor old Sir Handel.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Tremendous effort. Coaches tried hard to drag him back, pumped and pulled so hard that they were soon over the top and away on their journey. The thin controller was severe with Sir Handel that night. "You are a troublesome engine," he said. "You are rude, conceited, and much too big for your wheels. Next time, I will punish you severely." Sir Handel was impressed and behaved well for several days. The axle box issue got beneath our carriage, so let's see what happens. But the section of the story coming up now was never included in the TV episode, which is unfortunate because it showcases the challenges faced by Sir Hayden when she first came trained on Talyllyn. She struggled with young coaches and a treacherous track, and poor coaches, as we have on our train today, could be considered quite a right range in modern times, but this is... I'm pausing again for the dark bit. Poor coaches, as we have on our train today, and as you sit in right now, are considered a light load in modern times. This is only because the engine behind these carriages and all truck we're going over has been carefully and lovingly overhauled many times over the years. Now your current travel in one of the coaches has been used at time. Indeed, this train represents the carriages that were in use when the line was first preserved and the Wilbert was recognised. They were by that some point, incredibly, already 80 years old. Very similar types of course exist on the island of Sodor. What a surprise! Notoriously called cattle trucks by the guest it, Sir Handel. They are of course our beloved Agnes, Ruth, Lucy, Jemima and Beatrice. Illustrations show that Agnes, Ruth, Jemima and Beatrice were brought first from Brown Marshall, Lucy coming over shortly after that the Lancaster carriage box. It's a cheaper vehicle, but when the line was first taken in, okay, and they were loved by you, of course, Sir Hayden. When the line was first taken over by preservationists, the Lancaster coach had 4 springs, and as you might know, was dubbed Limping Louis. Despite their 80-year-old age, the original coaches were part of the original running theatre in factories until they were
sitting on the buffer beam and sounding the line for extra adhesion. Now it's kind of uncomfortable in the best of days, but when it's a day like today and it's raining like today, it is really very unpleasant. And he thought the worst was behind us, but just as we got to about here, the familiar chuff, chuff, chuff went out of time and it missed a beat. Chuff, 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 clonk. Chuff, 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 clonk, and missed a beat, and then stopped somewhere just about here. A tiny cotter pin had come loose, damaging the valve in the locomotive and the valve gear. For want of a metaphor, it seemed that the war had been lost. The Talyllyn Railway suddenly found itself with no working engine for the first time, in the middle of the line with a full train of people just like you, wanting to know what's going to happen next. Now, the Reverend took inspiration from this incident when writing about Rhenius, the Scullery Railway's own gallant little engine. Duncan, having stopped on a viaduct in the previous story, is told off by Scullery for ignoring the needs of his really happy but slightly concerned passengers.
I remember Rhenius stopping in a wrong place once, said Scullery. He couldn't help it, but he made up for it afterward. That afternoon, he had damp rail and a full train. There were passengers, even in Beatrice. His wheels slipped dreadfully on the steep bit after the first station, but they gripped at last. The worst's over, he thought. Now we're away. Come along, he sang to the coaches. Come on. Oh, I've got cramp, he groaned. He stopped, unable to move, on the loneliest part of the line. The thin controller and Mr. Hugh examined him carefully. The passengers watched and waited. Rhenius eyed them anxiously. They looked cross. At last, the thin controller stood up. "Your valve gear on one side has jammed," he said. "We've unfastened the rod and tied them up. Now, Rhenius," he went on, "we need to reach the next station. Can you pull us there on one cylinder?" "I'll try, sir, but the next station won't be the right station. Will the passengers be cross?" "Don't worry," smiled the thin controller. "They know we can't reach the top station today." The thin controller sanded the rail. Passengers from Beatrice pushed behind. Mr. Hugh gently eased out the regulator. The train jerked and began to move. "I'll do it. I'll do it." Everyone cheered, but Rhenius heard nothing. "The thin controller's relying on me. If I fail, the railway will close. It mustn't. I'll get there or better." Everything blurred. He was too tired to move another yard, but he did. And another, and another, and another, till I got there at last. He sighed with relief. "It's proud of you, I am indeed," said Mr. Hugh. All Rhenius remembered about the journey down was having to go on going on.
Hello!
At the big station,
Hello
the
there.
passengers thanked him. We expected a long walk, they said. But you brought us home. You'll come again and bring our friend. "You're a gallant little engine," said the thin controller. "When you're rested, we'll mend you, ready for tomorrow." Was Rhenius always ready for tomorrow? Always, smiled Scullery. Whatever happened, Rhenius always pulled his train.
The same was true of Dolgok, and her performance for that very first year was an incredible feat. The makeshift repairs put in place by David Kerwin and Tom Rolt allowed her to haul her train over half a mile uphill to Bryn Glas, just up to here on one cylinder. And just here, she was run around the coaches and took everyone home again. David Kerwin's memory of the occasion was really quite different to the fictional interpretation, though. He did say, though, that lying across a rail between two wheels of a locomotive in steam is not my Thank you, Sir Handel. You know he's still there. It's not my idea of a joke. You have to become very unimaginative for a time, rather akin in a small way to defusing a bomb. Now, the passengers all declined refunds for their incomplete journey, and Dolgok was repaired in Pendray Sheds that night to pull trains the following day, and had she not been able to run, no trains would have then run for the next days, if not the season, and the railway would not have made it through that very first year of preservation, and we are not sitting here today. In the island of Sodor, the Skye Railway would have closed as well, and renewals was always being made ready for tomorrow. Now, the section of line now from Bryn Glas to Dolgok, this section of line in the railway series differs significantly from real life. And on the Talyllyn, we go here from open countryside and glorious green fields into dark, ancient, rich green forests. When Sir Handel has visited the Talyllyn Railway in 1982, he encountered a tree branch hanging across the line. I'm assured we've been cleared this morning and there's no risk of Handel's handle sitting any branches this morning, but the incident clearly inspired Christopher Awdry, who thought it worthy publication and wrote about it in Sir Handel Comes Home from Great Little Engines.
I know what you mean, he said. I had an adventure a bit like that just before I came away. It was a midday and didn't want to go out. The driver said I must. Well, we set off. Luckily, the train wasn't very full, so we got on all right, even though it was raining. We stopped at a station. Sir Handel paused dramatically. Go on, urged speaking Sam. Just beyond the station, continued Sir Handel, there was a steep bit of a curve. But it was wet, so naturally I was concentrating on getting up the hill. Of course, agreed to Grenadiers, anyway. As we came round the bend, a tree suddenly seemed to jump out at me. I tried to stop, of course, but my wheel slipped on the wet rails, and I ran smack into the tree. It's hurt, I can tell you. It must have done, agreed Jim, and it was sympathetic nervous for the others. The tree didn't actually hit me in the eye, explained Sir Handel, but driving the fireman had a great fuss about it. Next morning there was a bandage on my forehead and a black patch on one eye. Everyone laughed and said I looked like a pirate. Then I pulled a special train, something called an AGM. They even wrote a piece about me in their magazine. Sir Handel's heart was happy. Oh, it was a great fun, he said.
Some distressed for Sir Handel's good looks, so he was fitted with a white patch to cover up some of the more severe damage. Sir Handel's visit lasted a couple of years before he eventually returned to Sodor. Now the Skye Railway has its own unique geological features. The equivalent section of line here runs through a tunnel and along ledges cut into hard rock. Such the nature of that section, that part of the line is known to gangers as the Dratted Tunnel section, and is prone to bridge washouts and, in bad weather, requires constant attention. we all know, the diesel ejector transformed diesel sound. Actually, you can see the diesel ejector can be seen in the museum down at Wharf. Now, we're now approaching Dolgok Viaduct, and the views over each side are really well worth a look if you're feeling like you've got to head for heights. Watching the water down below, crashing onto the rocks. There's a path down there too, and a lovely walk if you have enough time next time you visit. Scullery too. The railway at Scullery has a very similar viaduct, just like this one. In fact, it looks almost exactly identical. And their engine Duncan is all too familiar with difficulties you might face stopping on it.
Softly and shoulder steep. So his driver wasted a few minutes in the hope of raising more. But Duncan wouldn't try.
Go on this way.
Can't keep the passengers waiting in on those drivers. You always think about passengers, mutters Duncan crossly, and never about me. I'm never even polished, overworked, and I just won't stand it. He grumbled away, brooding over his wrong. Duncan made heavy weather of the journey, but at last they reached the valley. This is long, high, and narrow. No one can walk on it when a train is there. Come on, Duncan, said his driver. One more effort, and you'll have a rest and a drink in the station. Keep your old station, said Duncan rudely. I'm staying here. He did too. He stopped his train right on the bow. And nothing his driver or fireman could do would make him move another yard. Scarlett came from the top station to haul Duncan in his train to the platform. Passengers were very cross. First out of the train, and told the drivers, the firemen and the guard what a bad railway it was. Scarlett had to pull the train to the top station too. Duncan wouldn't even try.
Fortunately, Sir Handel is better behaved than the hot-headed Duncan and has brought us easily into the station with no pausing on the viaduct at all. He will, however, take a few minutes here to pause for some water, and the guard has walked on your train, hopefully, just checking in on you.
Good man.
Dad, look at me. There you go.
Fingers crossed, all right.
Devin, have a good time. See you Christmas, okay?
The scenery onto your train right now is exactly the same scene you imagine this at the front from gallant old engines, except it hasn't this Sir Handel and Dolgok sitting here at this water tower we've just gone past. But you may have seen our television train go past us earlier. In fact, all over this weekend. And of course, that is another thing that happened first on a Talyllyn. And it was there the BBC decided to run something similar, and they used the field for all its scaffolding and all their broadcast equipment just to our right-hand side right now in this field. There was a huge tower scaffolding with all of their signals and sort of antennae trying to beam stuff back to their base. Now, back then, 1957, it was so ambitious because television had many broadcast live from studios, and this was an outside broadcast, one of their very first times. And it was one of the very first ones the BBC ever did, and still runs to this day. In fact, it was an exact forerunner of the live stream we've been doing all weekend to YouTube. Such an experiment generated a huge amount of interest, and he was the guard of that train that day? Well, that's right, it was the Reverend W. Awdry. In that idiot, when it came to writing the old engine, he had the perfect finale in his head already laid out in reality. Because television comes from the Scarlet Railway. We don't have to mention it, we must feel acknowledged though. Sir Handel did not cover himself in glory there. Because this is what he had to say when he found out the railway was to be televised. And this is what the theme control did to put him in his place.
Yes, please, sir. I was hoping you would be there. Duncan shall have a good strike. Rusty, with Mr. Hugh and the men, can show how we mend the line. Please, sir, what about me, sir? Did you say that? Duncan gave a smile. You? I'll pull the special television train. Oh, sir. Oh, sir. What Peter said. Television men built towers for cameras beside the line. They put cameras on me there too. The old Gertrude, wild and easy. Trucks troubled behind, carried air to generate. Everyone practiced hard, so they did just what they had to do. Last the time came, and the announcer gave the signal. We're on the air, he said. Roll the heavy train to the shop. Where's the Handel? Ready. Sir Handel, not joined. We're on the air, John, he said. Trundled over the bridge near the middle station. Beep, beep, it was Duncan. We're coming. The announcer talked to Duncan. Then they popped over the second bridge to Quarry Side, where Rusty, Mr. Hugh and the men were waiting to explain about their work. Soon they had to go. Peter Sam whistled, Rusty tooted in reply, clattered through the tunnel, rumbled over the viaduct near the waterfall, rolled at last into the top station. The owner climbed down. We arranged for television, he said, to let everyone see our little old age. We are proud of you. 95 years old, good as new. Nothing like him anywhere. 3 cheers for Scarlet. Beep, 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 whistled Peter Sam. Everybody joined in.
In case you're wondering why we're stopped here, it's unusual, and again, a truly only could happen in Sodor kind of event. Overnight, some of the silt has washed down the side of the embankment, and we have a very small, very minor, it's not a landslide, it's just a bit of soil and topsoil's come down, but the staff are currently clearing it in front of us with spades so we can progress nicely along the rails, and so Handel doesn't jump between the rails and settle down in them. If you look out the window now, you see they just cleared the route for us, so the driver's coming back now, just don't know if that's going on way, but yes, well, just a brief stop. What could be more scholarly than this?
I don't know. Now, the route before us will be arriving at Upper Knoll, where on the way back you could take refreshments and look to the facilities.
if you need to, have about half an hour or so. If not, then you can also look at the exhibition that's on there, if you haven't already seen it. Now, the station at Buggleskelly, just up beyond here, marked the end of the old passenger line where passengers ever really got carried to. It was the beginning there of the mineral line that went up to the inclines for the town of Buggleskelly, which you'll see, and at the end of the line to Nant Gwernol, up for the Slate, going further up into the hills. I'll see you a bit further up the line. The crew came down from Buggleskelly aboard Rusty's train to clear this little slide here. So really, truly, it is Rusty to the rescue in this case, and Rusty and his train are currently waiting just beyond the landslip up in the passing loop just up here, so for quarry sighting. So as you go past, do wave and say thank you to the volunteers and staff. You see them on the outside of the line who just cleared the line for us. That's Handel saying thank you.
Whoa!
This is our first time here. Our first time here. Oh. That was the first time here. The first time this is our second time. We were here yesterday.
One more commission or yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now, we are just across the Buggleskelly, passing the block post now. Of course, the line we're about to travel was never meant to be travelled by passengers. Well, there are some pictures of coaches at the bottom of the incline. It was for the benefit of the owners only and their travel. To signify where the statutory railway actually ended, a gate was built up here at the end of the platform. It's recently been reinstated, and we are about to travel through the gate to adventure. Railway Series fans will of course recognise this spot as where Sir Handel decides he won't pull trucks and splits the rails apart. We do hope today we have more luck with this rake of coaches beside him today, even if they are to him just cattle trucks.
Here's one more. He took the train to the top station. It was Peter Sam's turn. The thing to turn there makes it very steady. He'll leave the coach's city driver and fetch some trucks and fire. Trucks! What it's ahead. Trucks! Yes, Mr. Driver. Trucks. Handel jerked forward. It won't be long. So there. Driver and down and behind. Told you, said to Handel triumphantly. Pushed the rails apart. Settled down between them. Telephoned the thing from Valley. He came up at once to Peter Sam. Brought some work and trout. He and the fireman took Peter Sam home to the coach. Driver and wagon set the Handel back on the rail. The Handel did not feel so pleased with it like Paul's home. Giant things of Jara waiting for him. You are a very naughty piggy, he said. Stay on the ship till I can trust you to behave.
Now, on the non-platform side, over to the right, and facing up the valley, you can see the T-Dur watering tower and watering point just here. This spot marks where the original engine shed was as well, and shows how engines were watered originally by the natural and abundant resource coming down the side of the hill. And a similar water pipe was of course smashed by flying snakes in the story of trucks. But we get ahead of ourselves a bit here. As we approach Camp Burnham Station, what does Wilbert Awdry have to say on the subject of snakes? Nearby town of Port Merion as a Swiss chalet-style terminus that was to have gone here but never got constructed. Now, there's no timetable to look up those quarry inclines today. They're well worth a visit next time you come back, or do hope you do. But Sir Handel has worked hard on the way up, and you won't get a real break now until he gets down to Abergynolwyn, back where we've come from. So why not get out in a minute and watch the crew running around for the train on our return journey.
Sorry.
Handel thought the music they were good, so they didn't like Dave chicks. They're good. DJ Sam, of course, he tracks to the side. He's fine again. And another side. All that's in there. He's in trouble. Already jumps. Strike him, they yell. Down, down, well, Peter Sam, it's Peter Sam. Lady Fox straight in the road. Crack. Hurrah, 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 they roll, head and down. Peter Sam, he shut his eye. His driver and father crouched in his cab. Crash. Just too violently back. Oh! I didn't expect to hold that. Water, channels. Safe.
There is a reason for those wagons driven directly into the quarrymen and their families, and the railway specifically to bring slates down from the hills. But right now, we're approaching Awdry Station. It's time for Sir Handel and us, the talking train, to have a short break. And after we depart, a short while from now, we'll continue our story down the hill.
At the Abergwynnwen station, I met Veronica and Richard once again and had a group picture with the Awdry family.
I'm sorry.
So he's ran off into the hospital, right? If they straight London, she went. Yeah, he's ran off into the corner to hide.
What are they doing over there?
Been in today.
Yeah, I know. So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, that's. We get a little special. Oh, Donald's coming out today.
Oh, be careful.
James is getting good. So he won't stop posting about it. Oh. Oh, poor Jen. He's derailed over there.
In the corner, in the timeout.
Just up and over.
This weekend has brought poor James to pieces. Oh.
Ow!
2 pieces, as you can see.
I'm in a lot of pain.
So who's this?
This is someone else's muffle.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, I see Toby now, he's over there. There we go. Oh, that is running a tree. That is beautiful. Until she doesn't.
Surprise myself. We've got the steady signals.
No, the other ones are. Oh, wow. Oh, it's the outside crack. She doesn't fit in the platform. The rocks are too big.
Yeah, she's got
it.
it.
Must just be her getting stuck over the
over the points.
What point? I don't know, I'm on 5 hours of sleep, don't judge me.
I've got a monster, do you want it?
I've already had 2 today.
Oh.
But what flavour is it?
Pacific Punch.
When we returned to Wharf Station, I've then got to meet Ryan Hagen, who is the head administrator of Sodor Island Forums, which I myself am one of the members of that world's oldest Thomas and Friends fan site that is still around for years and to this day. We all got prepared for the last, for a while, group gathering. And thus came the grand whistle finale with all of us together in this amazing group picture. This was truly a remarkable celebration for the 80th anniversary. Afterwards, I got to hold Smurfy Dan's replica of the original Thomas. Then we got on board for our last train ride, the evening expedition train.
Bye.
During the ride, I've been having a good conversation with Smurfy Dan, and then our train stopped to make way for Sir Handel, so our train could be moving again.
What did you do? No, Sir Handel, come back.
He's too prideful.
They did this last year, they bring him back so you can get a running shot of him from the station.
So that's how they fill the water.
Take a while. after half an hour, we're going to do the call. We did the walking dog up and back.
Jerry being filled on water.
We arrived at the Abergwynnolyn station to see Wilbert Awdry's Farquhar branch layout one last time.
And especially I was talking something for this show, it's not great. Yeah, a while. Yeah, all of these. In my opinion, this is and just think we're all around 60, so you can up to 11, you know?
I always think when I get the train up, you go smaller and smaller villages, obviously, Shrewsbury, Help and whatnot. You think, how many people are coming from this tiny village in Wales for this exact community? And that's, yeah, no, I really like that.
Well, I think even by the sound here, like all the businesses in town, like I went for lunch on my break the other day, and you know, I was speaking to Dave and she's coming off on the railway, and she was like, this is yeah, she was like, every place is booked up months in advance, you know. Parents always tell me it was like we're doing a concert because we've got like a laptop open and phones and tablets trying to get like this train and that train.
That's why hotel manager was talking about this. He was like, oh, you used that railway? Yeah, and then I found out there's only about 10 minutes in the hotel.
Isn't it like was that what the closest place?
Within price range.
Yeah, well,
there were.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, we used to have like the only reason
it short enough, and the back needs a bit more work to it. Code 75. So Wilbert hand built it himself. Very. Yeah, so it's fine scale type effectively. Yes, very, very good.
Yeah, if I'm watching all the breaks on YouTube.
It's a bit. Right. Give it another go now. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I can tell that when this model is from which on this episode, Salty's Stormy Tale.
Absolutely.
Yes, he was the same captain that drove in that a different ship that was about to hit the rocks in a storm when Salty and Curtis saved the day. Rising on a lighthouse.
Holy cow.
during the big
Oh, thank you so much. I never thought I'd. Oh, I'm speechless.
He's got his lantern on.
I noticed that too.
No, Sandal's back in the train back onto us.
Oh.
Perfect.
That's a gentle bump.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think it's because the bus starts. Yes.
No, don't blame yourself for that one because of the other recommendations I put to having an opinion of black.
Yeah.
He's got a different name. With this mid-sort of railway look. Same with Sir Handel, also known as Scholarly, his uncle Albert. There was a group photo on the Facebook somewhere of everyone at the Talyllyn Railway a couple of hours ago. Did you see me? I'm literally next to a Matthew Hillington who's wearing a red shirt. Yeah, you could see me somewhere next to Matthew Hillington in the red shirt, slightly on the left. Outside the platform, that is. It's not on the platform, it's outside, on the other side at the end of the road. I'll show you the screenshots of it.
When we got back at wharf when it just turned dark, I took the time to say one last goodbye to Awdry Extravaganza. It was really very hard for me to say goodbye to Awdry Extravaganza and the Talyllyn Railway, to be truthful. It's like how it feels when leaving your old childhood home when you move, or saying last goodbye to your friend. I had a lot of fun at Awdry Extravaganza and really loved the event so much, and I especially adore the Talyllyn Railway most of all, the railway where Wilbert Awdry worked as a guard, and used that railway as an inspiration for the Scarlowy Railway in the Railway series. I made a lot of wonderful friends, and I was delighted to have the chance to meet the Awdry family at Awdry Extravaganza, as I had the chance to meet Britt Allcroft at the Unlikely Fandom premiere in 2023. Few incidents that happened during Awdry Extravaganza, like the mudslip incident and how Sir Handel almost left Tim Dunn and Veronica Chambers behind at the Abergwynnolyn station, which both happened during the talking train ride for a few examples. Felt like I was literally in a Thomas story, which was no coincidence, and that was all really magical. Makes it feel like I was really on Sodor visiting the Scarlowy Railway. That is the kind of world that the Talyllyn Railway and Awdry Extravaganza showed that made me wish I could still stay in that world. But fortunately, however, this is certainly not the last time I visit the Talyllyn Railway, because I will definitely return to Talyllyn Railway for another visit for their events, and hopefully for the next Awdry Extravaganza if it eventually returns, probably during the Thomas Anniversary celebration years. I highly recommend all you steam railway enthusiasts around the world to go pay a visit to the Talyllyn Railway. You can learn more or purchase tickets on their official website, and to hear any updates on upcoming events or if they are in need of support, you can follow them on Facebook, Twitter X, Instagram, and Blue Sky. And you can even subscribe to their official YouTube channel as well. I've also like to shout out that before I went to Wales, I've submitted my own Just Like Awdry diorama of the chase scene from Old Iron from the 9th book of the Railway series, Edward the Blue Engine, for Awdry Extravaganza's Just Like Awdry diorama challenge. And if anyone is interested in these large-size pin buttons of the Railway Series Builders plate that I've handed out to a few people at Awdry Extravaganza, including one for Veronica Chambers and for Christopher Awdry, which the 2 pin buttons, by the way, are part of the gifts inside of the envelope with my letter that I gave to Veronica on the first day of Awdry Extravaganza. You are free to order one on my Redbubble shop that you'll find here, that I've designed back in May, and uploaded it onto the Redbubble site back in June. And to top it off, my baked clay model of Thomas that was signed by Britt Allcroft, Rick Sekelkow, and Brendan Cardy at the Unlikely Fandom premiere, I got a lot of new autographs from the people at Awdry Extravaganza. And the people who signed it are Terrier55 Stepney, Tim Dunn, who also signed my Talking Train Ride card, Tom Denham, Ian McHugh, who also signed my Trackmaster model of Duchess from Thomas and the Royal Engine, Michael White, who also signed my Trackmaster model of Duchess as well, Thomas Therist, Smurfy Dan, Richard Awdry, and Veronica Chambers. And lastly, to finish off, I got this Talyllyn Railway shirt and the Awdry Extravaganza merchandise that you can see them all here.